You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live Portraits, featuring intimate, in-depth interviews with Black Hollywood stars and influencers. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live Portraits, Daryl Kristen.
Daryl's a woman.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. You are at Black Hollywood Live Portraits. Unfortunately, Daryl Kristen is not here with us today, but you got me, your girl Courtney Stewart, and my favorite DJ across the table,
DJ Jesse Janedy. What up?
And as it is Portraits, we have a lovely portrait to do today, and we have joining us in studio the beautiful, the talented actress, writer, producer. She does it all in this business. The beautiful Cherie Johnson.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm having a ball.
I know.
And I don't know what the normal host does, but you guys, she's back there lightweight getting a baby twerk on. So.
Doing our little dance, having a great time in the studio. So we want to jump right in because with Portraits, our goal is to learn everything about you.
We're going to
Miss
lift
Cherie.
every rock that
We're going to pull it all out. So we're going to start out from the beginning. Okay, so most of us know you, at least I do, because I remember very clearly the wonderful, fantastic television show Punky Brewster.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You were only 6 years old when you started out with that. How did you catch your break on that show?
I was just a baby. I didn't really realize what I was doing at all. My uncle used me as a muse, and he wrote the show Punky Brewster and thought it would be cool for me to see my name on TV. But me being me, I didn't understand, look, if you're going to use my name, how are you going to cast another little girl to play me? My aunt actually snuck me to the audition behind my mom's back. And 7 auditions later, the president of NBC came up. At that time, it was Mr. Brandon Tartikoff, was like, dude, give your niece the job.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you understand what that? How big that was at that age?
No.
Really?
I didn't understand that. I knew I was going to be at work with my favorite person, who was my uncle, every day. And I knew that I was going to play with Soleil. But I did not know that that meant that I was going to be on TV in front of the world. Mm-hmm. Then when I kind of understood, oh, okay, I'm on TV, I still didn't. I never grasped the concept. I didn't understand the concept till I was 30.
Interesting.
What was it like as a kid? What was it like watching yourself back in an episode?
I only did it once.
Really?
Yeah, we watched the pilot episode. My family was like really proud, so the whole family got together and we did like a screening in the house. It was weird.
Really?
Yeah. It was weird. I was like, Mama ain't combed my hair. My hair was kind of froed out. I don't know. I just kind of felt like, you know how somebody records you with a video camera and then the family watches it back? Mm-hmm. Pretty much that's what I thought we were doing. I didn't realize it when I got to school the next day. All my friends had seen it.
Interesting. So what was that like when you got to school the next day? Were your friends interacting with you? Was it different? Were they treating you different?
I was all of a sudden popular.
Okay.
Where I was like the nerd kid I had one friend when I moved to California. His name was Jose de la Cruz. Okay. We sat at the table together. Now all of a sudden there were other people at our lunch table. I think I was confused.
Interesting.
Where all these people come from?
Right. You like me?
Do you remember what it was like in dealing with having to go to work and still go to school? Like, how did you sort of navigate that space when you were, or was it just kind of like, oh, I just do it and it was good?
It's just what you did. Mm-hmm. You know, every little kid goes to school. I went to school. I just most of the time went to school on the set, which was cool because it was me and Soleil and a girl named Amy Foster, my best friends.
Right.
So we did what all little kids do. Hurry up and do your work so we can play and talk and
keep it going.
And in this day and age, there's tons of like momagers, and you know the parents are very critical about their kids. What was your family like? I mean, obviously you worked with your uncle, so
it was so
were
different.
They strict with you? Did you kind of see a different side of your uncle? Like, wait a minute.
You know, no, because we played. Like, I got my first bike on the set. You know, Brandon Tartikoff bought us all. What are those little things that you hop on? Pogo sticks. Right. So we played in the hallways. My mom basically always said the same thing. Don't cuss and don't touch anything that's not yours. And so I was like, okay.
You say you never really understood, you know, everything until you were older.
Right.
But what was it like? I mean, Was it really 30, the age where you looked back and said, wow,
No.
you know, I was a young African-American female on such a huge show? Like, did that ever kind of...
I know it sounds really funny, but yeah, it was after Family Matters was
Really?
over. So I might have, yeah, it was around 30. It was paparazzi. I grew up in a time where, you know, I did some things that I shouldn't have did in public, but nobody ever knew about it.
Right.
If I got grounded, it wasn't a big deal. I got drunk and threw up in Roscoe's, but you know, nobody knew to now.
Now we know.
Yeah, you're on Vine, Instagram.
But back then, you know, like the poor Lindsay Lohans, we all do things. And growing up in the
Right.
city, it's a place where if you are on TV, they do let you in the clubs. You know, they tell you don't drink, but every
You still
teenager
drink.
sneaks a
Still
drink.
drink.
So yeah, it wasn't until I popped up on Media Takeout and I was engaged and then I was pregnant, but I was a lesbian, and it was like all in the same month. And then I was married, but I was engaged and married and a lesbian with 3 different people. So I just wanted to know who got me pregnant. And I was
who your lesbian lover?
well, my lesbian lover was definitely Jalissa Lynn. I could claim her because I
Oh.
did kiss her.
Okay.
But I kissed her for a book trailer that I did, and I was hoping that she was my baby mama or baby daddy. I don't know how that works.
Y'all work that out.
But
with
it
the
wasn't
clinic.
until like my phone rang at 7 o'clock in the morning and people were freaking out on my phone about me being engaged when I had never even went on a date with this dude. And it was like, are you kidding me? And then I looked at it for the first time. I didn't even know what Media Takeout was, and it was 500,000 people had clicked on it. It was 7 a.m.
Wow.
Don't you guys have anything else to do in your life, like sleep? And that's when I realized, oh my God, this isn't normal.
Like, I'm a celebrity.
I don't think I've gotten there yet.
No.
No, I don't think I'm quite there yet. But very popular. Yeah, I was not popular in high school. So it's like the world knows you, and I didn't figure it out.
Really?
Yeah. And then Twitter has been a great segue for me because I'm hitting people that I loved, like Mason Becca, P. Diddy, D Nice, and they're tweeting me back, talking about how they watched me grow up on TV. And that's like amazing to me because I still watch them.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know? And I'm a fan. And
So, okay, you have that realization. What is that like, actually sitting back and kind of thinking like, oh, wait, I really shared my entire childhood
Growing up, seeing yourself
with
every stage.
world.
not just my childhood, but childhood,
Yeah,
puberty.
teenage,
I grew boobs on TV. I had my first kiss on TV. My
Really?
my first sex scene was actually on TV. Like everything was on TV. Now I have no filter. You know, people say, "Oh, you cuss all the time, or you're really down to earth and open." I mean, what is there to hide now?
Right.
It's all out there for everybody.
Y'all been there longer than I realized you were there. So there's nothing to hide now. Except for I do try to keep my personal relationships as quiet as I can.
Which, smart.
Smart,
With
smart,
Media
smart.
Takeout out there.
Thank
doing
you.
things. But going back to Punky Brewster, so you and Soleil Moon obviously worked together for quite some time.
Yeah.
Were you guys able to maintain a friendship outside of it and for years to follow? or
We
was it something
definitely
like-
are still friends. And people
Awesome.
trip out like when we talk on Twitter. I'm like, but everybody else talks on Twitter. Like, it's my homegirl, you already know. It's my homegirl. Like, what's the big deal? Yeah. We're still.
Beautiful.
You either love each other or hate each other. And she is the best spirited person I've ever met in my life. If there's somebody that I can say truly knew what being free was at 7, it's her.
Really?
And she's the
What do you mean
exact-
by that?
Just no inhibition. She was always very comfortable with self. You know how other women are going through, oh, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, my hair's too short, I need it longer, I have acne. She was like, it's life, it's who I am.
And is that something that helped you in the industry?
I would say help me as a person. I don't know
Yeah.
about in the industry, but yeah, her parents are like she was a flower child, you know, and my mom wasn't so free, but she was very much like, love yourself. You get $20, you're not getting a nose job. It's life, you know, but growing up with her and her mother and my mother is a definite balance. It was like, you know, while the other little black kids were trying to press their hair out, I was like, oh, put water in it. It's okay if it gets
Look
big.
what it
It's
does.
beautiful. It's me. Yeah.
And then from there you went into Family Matters. And, well, first of all, from Punky Brewster, I mean, to go to a show where there were like toys made after you guys and dolls. It was like, I mean, did you ever have any of that type of
Did you get any of
memorabilia? Or?
You guys
Lunchbox?
would think I was crazy, but honestly, my mom kept all the stuff in the garage, and I thought it was lame.
Really?
Yeah. Until a couple years ago, I met this little girl. Her name is Alex, and she's a huge Punky Brewster fan. But she was like 7. And so I said, hey, Mom, can I have one of those lunch boxes? Because I want to send it to Boston to Alex. And my mom was like, sure. So I sent it to the little girl, and she loved it. So then it was like, oh, my God, well, let me find this coloring book, and I have pajamas. And once I started giving that stuff to little kids and I saw the joy in their faces and their hearts, I appreciated it.
Yeah, you go.
But when I was young, I didn't get it. Like, I wasn't going to go to school with my face on a lunchbox. That's lame.
Okay, I'll give you that.
We can do that for sure. Like, the rest of us had it, but yeah, it would have been a little strange.
Weird.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I would totally carry around my lunchbox and be like my grandma. It's
Give me that.
me.
Boop.
Yeah, it's cool now. But
And then to go on to something like to Family Matters, which, I mean, you talk about Fresh Prince and Family Matters. I mean, these were huge shows in the 90s that kind of broke barriers as far as entering Hollywood and different people's houses and kind of showing a different side of, you know, African American culture. And again, I mean, I just, you know, you're just going to say, well, I didn't realize it's
No, I'm saying to hear you say it is such an honor, and I feel so blessed. Dude, I didn't get it.
Really?
But I mean, you at that point with Family Matters, you were getting into teenagerdom and, you know, experiencing that life. Do you remember having moments sort of out and about where there was interaction with fans or anything that made you think differently or be like, wow, I didn't realize we were having that kind of impact on, like, because I could see.
Popular.
Yeah.
Like, you go places, and we traveled a lot.
Right.
And that was like one of the great things about growing up on TV is that you get to go everywhere. Every weekend we were in a different state, but I just thought I had friends everywhere. Yeah,
amazing.
I
Well,
thought I was popular.
Well, we thought we had friends on TV finally that looked like us. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
What are some of your like most fond memories of being on the set at Family Matters?
Family Matters was great because I had known Jalil since I was about 7 or 8 years old. The guy who played my boyfriend, Waldo Geraldo Waldo, he was my first boyfriend on Punky Brewster, which they tried to get us to kiss, but we were too shy to kiss. So that would have been my first kiss then, ended up being my first kiss later. I've already known him for years.
Wow.
We're still great friends. We talk all the time. And then Darius McQuarrie and I had the same agent. So my agent used to throw these like holiday parties or whatever, and all the celebrity kids were there. So it was like I was going to work already with people who I loved and that were my friends.
So it was just kind of almost so natural. You kind of didn't realize the realm that you were walking amongst it, like you said.
Like, it was really a
popular
family
kid.
matter for me, you
And
know?
how was it on set with everybody? Was everybody? Did you guys do family vacations together?
We were a family. Some days we loved each other. Some days we hated each other. It's like siblings. We fought, fist fought, hugged, kissed, made up, stuck up for each other. It was like being home.
Mm-hmm.
Only, you know, on Fridays they brought out the cameras and we had to say these certain lines, but we played games with ourselves. Like, there's this thing that we used to all, I know it's really weird, but like we would put money up. Okay, I bet we're going to be out of here tonight at 9:35. No, I bet we'll be out of here at 10:10. And whoever like got the pot of money, you know, that's what we spent on drinks and stuff for the weekend. Or a new outfit or something. I wouldn't pee before the show because I figured, okay, if I don't go to the bathroom and have to pee during the show, I'll get all my lines right. And,
Really?
you know, yeah, it was like a big game.
What were some tips as far as going from Punky Brewster to something as big as Family Matter? I mean, were there anything?
Well, there were
both
pits before then, though. Like,
but as far as learning, making that jump in Hollywood, what would you say some of the things your uncle or even your family had kind of helped you as far as acting goes, or were they kind of taking a step back like, oh, she's doing it, she's living it?
I was just kind of living and doing what I loved. They did teach me a lot about business. Like, I didn't grow up one of those kids who had a horse or a mansion, or I got $20 to go to the movies. My mom wanted her change back. You know, my uncle had a long talk with me when I was about to turn 16 and get my first car, and he was like, look, the American dream is to have the best house you can afford and a dependable car. You do not spend all your money and try to go buy a Ferrari, which I still want a Ferrari. But he explained to me that things come in certain times in your life. And if you play your cards right, you'll get everything you want, but just be smart about it. So I think I learned a lot about business early. I didn't even realize I was getting paid till I was 16, though.
Really?
Like, let me explain that. My mom got sick. My mom is battling with lupus and multiple sclerosis. So my mom wanted me to know that if anything ever happened to her, that I would be okay. When I was 16, she brought out this checkbook and was like, I just want you to know that if anything happens, you're going to be okay. And I looked at it and said, whose money did you steal? Like, I totally thought she ripped off a Brinks truck or something. I knew that wasn't ours.
Yeah.
You know, my mom's a nurse. She went to work every night. She took me to work during the day, would sleep in my dressing room, and would go to work at night. We didn't live like a fancy lifestyle. We were the average
That kept you very
American
humble.
family.
Now, you mentioned that there were some pits between sort of Punky Brewster and Family Matters. And as an actor, you know, what were those pits and what did you do to keep pushing forward?
Okay, well, you got to realize I was 12.
You were
Right.
So I didn't really realize it was a pit. I did a pilot with Martin Lawrence a long time ago called It's a Bit Strange. The pilot didn't get picked up. I just went back to school and played with my friends. I did Days of Our Lives for 6 months and had to decide after I went on the audition for Family Matters. They didn't want me to have braces. And my mom had just spent all this money. Like I told you, we
Family Matters didn't want you to have
Family Matters did not want me to have braces. And my mom had spent all this money, my mom's money, on braces, which was a really big deal. She had saved up. She's a single mother, working hard. I went in the bathroom and I popped them off with toenail clippers.
Shut up.
Yeah, and asked my mom, can I go on the call back because I don't have braces anymore.
What did your mama do?
She beat me.
Okay.
But she took me on the call back. My teeth are still crooked, but I had a great 10-year run on a show that's made history.
And I'm sure she ain't mad at it.
No, but she still tells me you need to get those bottom teeth.
So
I'm okay with it.
You plucked them off.
I pulled the wire out, pulled the little things out, and plucked them off with toenail clippers.
Wow.
Going from Punky Brewster to Days of Our Lives to Family Matters, what was the difference between doing like a soap versus a sitcom?
Soap was so awesome. They
Really?
read cue cards. Like, who does that? Because they shot a different show every day. They had cue. I'd never figured out to this day I can't use a cue card because I just learned to memorize my lines. But I thought it was so cool because they weren't like really acting. They were like halfway reading.
Really? That's
Yeah.
like-
And it was the first time I got to do like drama and stunts.
What kind of stunts did you do?
They blew like a sugar glass window on top of me. My father was the police chief, and so somebody was supposed to be shooting at him. And I was just all excited. I got abused, and I got my first like black eye on camera. And that's what it was about to me. Like, I didn't realize I was working. It was like you sit in special effects makeup, and it was like, ooh, my mom's going to be so sad when she sees this black eye. Can I go show her? Like, that's all I cared about.
Right, had you had a lot of good, as far as the people you worked with, everybody was kind of along the same
I've been
mentality, or did you ever have to deal with any type of diva-ness? Or
I worked on a black show for 10 years. You know there were divas. But the good thing is everybody was really kid-friendly. So I wasn't expected to be a little adult when I was a kid. Like, we rode our bikes in the hallway. We ran. We played. You know, we literally, like, there were days when Darius and I were pulling each other down the steps. Nobody said stop. The only thing that they did say one time, I remember me and Jaleel were fighting during a taping.
Oh, I was like,
and the
ooh, tell us that,
producers-
Tia.
No, it wasn't anything bad. It was just kids being kids. Like,
Right.
he socked me right before they said action, and he thought that he was going to get on the set. Well, I snatched him, and I threw him up against the set, and the sounds the set kind of went like this. And I guess the audience went, woo. The producers came back, and they were like, cut it out. Don't hit him in his face. Let's go back and do it again. You know, and that was it. Like, that was our reprimanding. Don't hit him in the face.
Did you prefer working in front of a live studio audience?
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I do films now, but something about that energy that you get from the audience is amazing. But I can say that I did my first play this year. Terrified. It's
Why?
a totally different experience. I thought that I would love it because of TV, but it's like the producers and the directors and the cameramen who you've worked with for years shield you
The
from the
comfortability
audience.
factor.
Right, and you can't really see them. It's all dark up there, whatever. You can just hear the energy and the laughter, and when they talk back, it was awesome. When I got on that stage, and it was just me in front of a huge stadium of people. There was my mommy wasn't there. There were no directors or producers or anything. It took me until like the middle of the whole first show. And then after the middle of the first show, I loved it. I had started my own shoe line, and I heard one of the black women in the front say, "Oh, look at them shoes." And I was like, yeah.
You're like, I got this.
Right. And that made it comfortable. I think once they started talking to us. But before then, it was a little...
What was on the set of Family Matters? Who was probably one of the funniest people off camera that you just had? You would always be so
Sean.
excited to go, and
It would definitely be Sean.
really.
Sean Harrison, the one that played Waldo. And it wasn't like a comedic funny. He's totally different than his character. If you're looking for the truth, he is going to give it to you. And we were teenage girls, you know, just starting to wear makeup and put on clothes. He'd be like, that is not cute. You got way too much makeup on. You look like a clown. Like, he used to just but it was hilarious.
Of all the people on the set at the time, like, who do you maintain the strongest relationships with now?
Sean. We talk every day.
Oh, cool.
And if not every day, like every other day, there's either a twit or a Facebook, or he's on my phone. He might be calling me now because I was supposed to call him before I got here. And Darius. It's me and the boy. I'm a tomboy at heart. So it was always me and the boys.
Then you moved to the Parkers.
Yeah.
Got to work with Monique.
Yeah.
What was the difference as far as being so comfortable with everyone from Family Matters and growing up and kind of, now you're older, you know, and moving into a new job and kind of sitting with a new family? What was the set difference? What was the difference on set?
Now, I can't say that there's like a major difference with a lot of people that are on set, because what people don't realize is one of the producers that used to do Family Matters moved on and did the Parkers. Countess Vaughn and I have known each other since she did 227. So it was kind of like one of those childhood, girl, one day we gonna work together, you know? And then all of a sudden, one day we really did get to work together. I did learn about working in Black Hollywood was a lot different than white Hollywood, because even though I did Family Matters, it was a black show. It was ran by all white people. It was the first time that I realized that casting directors that do black stuff ask for kickbacks. Yeah, I'm telling on you. I didn't even know what it was. When they tried to ask me, I was like, what? I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you twice. That's wrong. That's not how the union works. You know, because it was always like straight.
My uncle told me about the business
Right,
plan.
and my uncle is white, blonde hair, blue eyes, so I was taught a little different. But it was the first time I had, you know, stepped into the realm, I guess, as an adult, and I realized the casting couch is real. No, that's not how I got my job, but there was a producer who tried to flirt and, you know, take me out. It was cool. I made my daddy come to work with me.
Yeah.
So I had to go out.
You ain't gotta go out like that.
But yeah, no, it was a huge difference, because now I was a woman stepping into an adult job. And that's when I realized, I think, that it was a job. And mind you, I'm in my 30s now. It's early 30s. So I was serious when I said I didn't realize this whole thing until I was 30.
That's amazing. And now you probably, I don't know, well, you seem to keep it real, so Countess Vaughn has kind of had a little rumored to be that she can be a little bit of a diva on set. Have you ever experienced any of that?
You know what, Countess, you left us high and dry one time, though.
How?
She did. I can't say that she was a diva, because she's always had a great attitude towards me, but we thought that she went to lunch. And we were waiting for the audience to come in and stuff, and we went and got our hair done and our makeup on. Yeah, I had to get fried up and everything. We was waiting, and she went home. So, like, they did pre-tape the show because she wasn't really comfortable, I guess, with the live audience. Why you ain't tell me so I could go home too? I live the furthest. You know what I'm saying? I could have got out of there for traffic kicked in. But I was...
That's why she mad. She didn't have no reason.
She's in 405 traffic, girl. What's wrong with you?
405 to the 101. That is no joke.
No.
So, yeah, that was my whole thing. I was like, I think that was the last time I was on, too.
Yeah.
But I was like, God, I didn't give my best performance when we pre-taped, because I was waiting to play with the audience. But... she went home like 4 or 5 hours early. We were still sitting here and stuff, getting makeup on.
And she's still thinking about it.
She still remembers.
Not until you
That
just
traffic was real bad.
It was real bad.
Okay.
You see the things I care about?
I love it, though. I do, because it's just real shit.
I'm just laughing and dying over here. Okay, so you did The Parkers, and you moved on to lots of shows and movies. You did Eve and Dead Tone, which is actually our other host, Daryl, who's not here, one of his favorite
Wow, that's the
movies.
first
He
thing
wanted
that
to
I
let
got to
you
co-executive
know.
produce. Thank
He
you,
was
Daryl.
very excited about that. Lights Out in the Bay. What's been your favorite project to work on?
Ooh, I would say I Do, I Did. I Do, I Did was the first film that I wrote and I produced. And I wrote the character because everybody had gotten so used to me like doing happy, joy stuff that I just had to be like that nice, sweet girl. I'm nice. I don't know if I'm always that sweet.
I got another side to me.
Right. There's definitely another side to me. And as an actress, you always want to reach out and do something different and let the audience see that you're capable of doing something different. So I got to cry. I got to be a little...
When did you know you started to want to get into writing and directing and producing and that stuff?
I had been writing since I was like 4. I wrote my first song on a napkin. My uncle's a musician. My brother's
What was
a
it called?
musician.
Do you remember?
Everywhere You Go.
Sing it.
Do you still have that napkin with
Sing
all
it.
with all the coffins in the garage?
can
I
do it.
don't have the napkin, but I
like, wait,
can't
You got to
sing.
give us a little bit of
You
it.
could sing some.
Everywhere I go, everything I do makes me think of you. My uncle played the guitar.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
And
We
it's
got the
because he was my
original.
favorite and I wanted to go everywhere he went.
Mm-hmm.
That was cute. She did that.
I did that, girl. So what do you think, in terms of your acting and then moving into producing and writing and all of that, what do you think you maybe learned the most about yourself from getting to step out of just being the actress that's happy and what they perceived you to be?
I learned a huge value for family. I've basically taken over daddy's business. My uncle, in very many ways, was like my father. And he has stepped back now, and he's kind of like in Hawaii, chilling out in his house, like, baby girl, you got this. And so, yeah, I value what he did for me and everything he taught me. I realized acting wasn't just challenging me enough, and playing characters and roles that other people wanted me to play was cool, but I was getting bored as long as they wanted me to play that nice little sweet girl. So I had to take my career in my own hands. And it also made me realize that determination can get you anything you want. I'm not good at hearing the word no. Like, I've heard it, but it doesn't mean no to me. It just means not now.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not now.
Not now.
No,
So,
no,
and
no, no.
not now. And then you decided to move into writing.
Yes.
And where did that come from? As far as, because to me, being a writer, obviously writing a script or writing a movie, I mean, how much different is that versus writing a book?
It's huge difference. And I Did made me want to write a book because I felt like I was a little censored. I could only throw so many bitches out there. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss, or F-bombs. You know, oh, I can? I've been totally
know,
trying
girl.
to censor myself.
Relax, we on the internet.
Hi. But I already
We
know I got a potty
unsensitive.
mouth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we getting uncut right here, y'all.
But I realized I could only say so much. My sex scene could only be so explicit, which was a good thing because my co-star, Marcus Patrick, is fine. But there was more to my story that I didn't get to tell. And that's when I wrote my first book, Two Different Walks of Life, or Around the World
I was
Twice.
gonna
Yeah, yeah, Around the World Twice.
Well, you were so busy because you had a 7-book publishing deal. I was like,
Yeah, I
a little
did.
something.
Gotta keep up with that. Yeah.
I did, but that changed things too. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a publisher now because I signed the 7-book deal. My first book came out. I didn't love the book cover. I didn't like the editor, but I didn't have the say in what I put out. So I let the book do its run. I got my rights back. I will be re-releasing it probably next year. I'm a control freak.
Well, okay, and having that having that control freak issue,
Yeah.
which I understand very well. How did you get into writing? As far as like learning about publishing deals and learning about.
Oh, baby, I didn't stop to think. I just,
just
did.
did.
Yeah, I just did, and I learned along the way, and that's how I made the mistake of signing a 7-book deal. You know, I was excited. It sounded good. It was all, like, prestigious. Everybody wanted to talk about it, so I was for it. And then after I wrote the first one, I was like, hold up.
That's not working.
I don't even like my book cover. I mean, I like the picture and everything, but all this, like the Twin Towers is on my book. It was supposed to be a sexy book cover. It's me with an American flag draped around here, my titties are out and my hair is covering it. And it was something that I wanted to do for the soldiers, because black women don't really do anything for the soldiers, and we were very much still at war. So
And why was that important for you?
my cousin was over there. He did 4 world tours, and I wanted him to come home. And I hate the fact that we're losing so many American black men. Like, we're still at war now. They don't talk about it. They're talking about Miley Cyrus twerking.
Yeah.
But
We're about to go to war again. and
Right.
it's- Yeah.
but we have American boys who never have come home.
Yeah.
And so that was really important to me, just to like be able to put that out there, and then to be able to send some of the guys the book, give them something to do while they're there, and hope and reason to come home.
So you know, you're a publisher now, you are producing and doing it, so you're controlling things now.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself and your role in terms of bringing more African American content to the forefront, especially for black women, women of color in general? Like, how do you see your role, and how would you like to see that sort of pan out over the next few years?
I just finished a pilot called The Therapist, and it is about 3 black couples. I think that with this basketball wife, R&B divas, housewives of everywhere, that we've lost the sense of a black family value. And I know like the hokey Family Matters and Cosby Show probably will never be again, but what we can do is show black love, because it's still alive and it still exists. So we put together this great show, Gino Brooks, it's his brainchild, about 3 young black couples who want to make their marriages work. And it's all intertwined through them seeing a therapist, because it's something that black people don't do as well. We don't deal with our mental health issues, and we don't seek help when we need it. I think you guys will like the show. Isaac Keys from The Apprentice is in it. Thank you. We have a guy named Jay Christopher who's done all kind of stuff. Miss Layla Olam from Zane's Sex Chronicles is in it. I'm in it.
So it's gonna be real sexy.
It's going to be real sexy, and I'm a little different than what people are used to seeing, maybe.
And so a lot of the stuff that you do is about romance and love. Do you find it hard to? And I know you said that you like to keep your relationship personal, but is it hard to date in Hollywood?
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Tell me some of the tea, girl. I want to know.
When I found out that I was on TV and everybody knew me, then it started making stuff make sense, which brings me to my book that is going to be out next month. It's already available for Kindle download, but it's called Stupid Guy's Diary. And I was telling my dating experiences to one of my friends via Twitter, and he was like, girl, write a book. This is horrible. This really happened to you? And I'll just give you like one of my
You need
interviews.
to tell us one. You need to tell us one
one.
story.
Okay, so I had met this dude while I was on the road.
Okay, you got
right?
me crossing my leg. All right.
We are like ready to go. Okay.
And he was fine, but I did what I always do. I get in a city for a little while, and then I had to leave. So we kept like this via Skype romance going on, and talking on the phone and all this stuff. So he was like, you know, let's spend a weekend together. It would have been 6 months down the road, so I did the whole Steve Harvey girl, make him wait 3 months, not because I didn't have enough money to fly out there, but because I was trying to be a lady, right? So I called my homegirl. We went to Victoria's Secret, got me a little outfit and everything. I flew out there, went in the bathroom, put my outfit on.
Everybody take a drink. Okay.
I wish this was more than water.
And we all just
I'm
took
just
a
playing.
sip
I'm
right
just
there.
playing. Right. Got into bed, was looking all cute, my little lingerie on and stuff. At least I thought I was looking cute. And he started singing. Right. Now, I was not in the opening credits. So when he said, it's a rare condition this day and age.
No, he did not.
What made it worse, I didn't even know what
Girl,
he was
yeah,
doing.
this isn't true.
I swear to God. We can call him right now. So I was like, I waited for him to sing the whole theme song. Like I said, we worked Friday nights. I wasn't watching Family Matters. I wasn't even in the opening credits. What was I going to watch for? I was in my dressing room somewhere getting ready to shoot the show. I said, are you singing Family Matters? He was like, yeah, that's my show. And I was like, oh, no. I literally got up, went back to the bathroom, put my clothes on, and went to the airport.
What did he say?
I didn't have no ticket. I told the lady, look, I have a ticket. I'm supposed to be leaving in 2 days. I need you to get me out of here now. I told her the story. She rerouted me. She sent my ass to D.C., to Chicago, to Houston, and then I came to L.A. I was ready to go.
That did not happen.
Yes. That's not the only one. Girl, I'm going to tell you another
Give
one.
me another
I
one.
went on a date. I met this cute little Puerto Rican dude when I was in New York. His name was, I shouldn't say his name. right.
We'll just call him Jose.
He took me to dinner in Manhattan. It was beautiful. We got in the restaurant. It got quiet for a minute, little uncomfortable silence, but we didn't really know each other, you know. So I was reading my menu, and this fool just screamed Punky Power, like really loud in the middle of the restaurant, for real. But what saved me is this Italian dude was sitting over there. He goes, yo, why would you do that to her? I became his echo. Yeah, why would you do that to me? And he was like, yo, everybody knows who she is. I was like, that's embarrassing. He's like, that's embarrassing. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Why would you do that to me? He was fine before then. Right? Oh, I said his name. Well, right, whatever. Now you know why I ain't calling you back. But, like, these are the things that I deal with. Imagine how hard it is to date anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now I got to date and everybody grew up, you know, in the bathroom to me when I was little. Like, it's not cool. I'm sorry.
But it's real talk.
Like,
That's real talk. Real talk.
So Stupid Guy Diaries is available on Kindle download, and the hard copies will be available at the beginning of September. Give me like 2 more weeks. I just sent it to print. You can laugh at my pain.
I'm getting that book.
I'm
'Cause I
crying
can just
again.
imagine. What you need to do is do it on tape, an audiobook, and you read it, because that
was a fantastic.
girl, I'd have you in my car all the time listening. Like,
Thank you. It's real. Unfortunately, these are the things I went through. People said, and I only wrote it because I was like, why are you not married? You're a great cat. Who am I going to marry? Can you find somebody that's not going to call me Maxine?
well, you were once engaged to rapper Ricky Romance.
No, I was not.
No?
There
Same
you go.
ring. Maybe if Ricky would have brought me this, it'd be green by now. No, I didn't. No,
Rick.
I went and met Ricky.
Media takeout.
Yeah, and TMZ.
Clear it all up right now.
Right. No, I did not date him. I kissed him. Every time I kiss somebody, I get in trouble. He bought my book. I said, bye. I've known Raz for years. I've known Ricky for years. The next thing I know, there was a camera in my car. It looks like it. There was. And I'm engaged.
Now,
My ring was actually given to me by my best friend. I dated a man for 7 years, and he broke up. Well, he didn't break up with me. He didn't tell me. I found out he had a groupie pregnant, but she was 6 months pregnant, which is why I wrote I Do, I Did as therapy. Mm-hmm. But he gave me my ring and told me to never jeopardize my happiness for a ring on my finger. And if they couldn't do better, then I didn't need him. I had him.
Oh, well.
boop.
It's still on my finger.
Boop.
That was years ago. It's still here, okay?
There you
But
go.
you brought Razby up, and
Yes, my Raz.
he recently has been in the news talking about he was in a coma in China, and
No, Raz didn't get on the news.
well,
saying
no,
He was in a
he
coma.
meaning his
been-
name was in the
been-
news.
Right, but I'm saying other people, because I had to say that because people say Raz put out the story. No,
Right.
other people.
No,
put
no, no.
out the
Yes,
story.
we've covered that here.
Yeah.
Razby did not go that, but
No, he had a little incident.
and
Fights happen.
you said fights happen.
Yeah, like something happened. His face got cut. Fights happen. Drunk boys.
Boys will
Doing
be
silly
boys.
things.
Boys will be boys.
But so you're
silly
still
things.
cool with Raz.
I love Raz
Yeah.
dearly. He is in China. We talk as often as we can. Unfortunately, like we get each other's messages at different times because, he's up at 2 o'clock in the morning my time I'm asleep, and I get him when I wake up. But yeah, we exchange messages and stuff all the time. I love him.
There we go.
His little boy. Got to make sure he's safe.
Boop.
Aw.
Yeah, he's my little
Sweet.
boo-bot.
All right, so you're writing and you're learning about love and you're dating and doing all this.
Yes.
Through the writing, what have you figured out about yourself in terms of dating? Anything you need to change? Something you're doing wrong? What do you think?
A lot about myself, and I have a friend who I call the modern day hitched because he's really like hooked couples up and they've gotten married. Through writing my books, I realized, like, after I analyzed everybody I dated in Stupid Guy Diaries, I'm aggressive. And I'm
You?
yeah, right. Who knew?
Aggressive, not Cherie.
I'm really aggressive and I'm controlling of myself, not other people. And I think because I'm so driven and I have a lot of ambition, maybe a little narcissistic, where I get caught up worrying about myself more than I get caught up worrying about the relationship. So by the time I realize the relationship is bad, it's been like 8 or 9 months because I've been so busy doing everything else that I know that that's probably not been my focus. And maybe that's why my relationships haven't worked, because I appreciate them, I have fun, but it's like,
Do you feel most men are kind of intimidated by you? By that?
I think maybe they're intimidated by my mouth, which I totally understand. I think girls have learned to sugarcoat things and make men feel like everything that they're doing is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem being like, look, boo, that's some bullshit. Like, I just don't hold no punches.
And what's some advice that you would give to young girls now as far as dating and
I would say
well, my issue is that I feel like a lot of the young girls now they go for a look versus a type of feeling. And I like that you just sat here and said, no, it's not about putting him up on a pedestal. It's about putting yourself up on a pedestal and
knowing what you deserve, very much so. I'm at the age now where all my friends are married, right? And most of them are kicking themselves in the ass because they were in love with the idea of being in love and they were in love with the idea of being married, that they kind of rushed through it to, I don't know if it was like keeping up with the Joneses or whatever, but I'm not there. I'm not feeling it. I would say never compromise your happiness to make somebody else happy. I think love and marriage is beautiful, but it should be with somebody who has the same values with you and somebody who will put your feelings first, like you put their feelings first. Like a lot of my female friends, they're letting their own feelings get stepped on, but to keep this image of marriage going, and I don't think that's what it's supposed to be at all. Like my best friend just got married last November and her parents spent $50,000. Like that's a lot of money. I don't care who you are or what you do, it's a ton of money for this day, and this day was amazing and it was fairy tale, but I was depressed at the end. I had corns and blisters on my feet because I ran around making sure, that he didn't see his bride and all this, and then they went home. I didn't have no movie. There was no residual income coming in from this $50,000. I was like, are you kidding me? So if I ever do it, it won't be anything like that. It'll be like me, him, our parents, and let's go through a drive-thru or something. Get this over with. My mom wants a cake, so she'll get her cake or whatever. I'm not registering for no towels, no china. I don't want no crystal. All this dust collectors. I don't think that women think about the true meaning they're so caught up with. Oh,
what's the number one trait that you look for in a guy?
Honesty.
Yeah.
If you're honest.
Amen.
Yeah, if you're honest, God-fearing is important too for me. But you ain't got to be all like, in a church, because a bunch of them is on the DL.
Oh.
I said it. But you do have to have some kind of foundation. And that's what the faith is for me. It's a foundation. Okay. You got to believe in something, boo.
And you're a heavy promoter as far as reading programs for young kids. Why was that so important for you?
Well, I told you I was a nerd. So a lot of times, like in school, I'd be in the corner reading like a novel or something. Everybody else was playing. I was reading V.C. Andrews because it would take me in my little imaginary land. But we're in a day where like I can write a Facebook status. People comment about some shit that I didn't even write. And I'm like, did you read what I wrote? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even read it. People don't read. It was a Harvard study that you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Harvard denies it now, but it's real. I believe they're law students that. And I want my little young black Puerto Rican kids to educate themselves and be able to read. That's like the biggest thing that you can learn from school. I don't care about all the other stuff they teach you. If you can read and you could do math, ain't nobody ever going to get over on you.
True that.
You hear about bad business, like all these rappers and actors and stuff who signed these deals and got taken advantage of. Why? Because they ain't read their contracts. And that happens all the time. People hate me because when you hand somebody a contract, that doesn't mean this is the deal. That means we're going to negotiate this deal. I'm not quick to sign anything ever.
And your program is Take Time to Read?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the program and what it does.
When I started doing my book tours, I was like in different states, but I grew up going into schools and talking to kids. And so for me, it was important to keep that connection with the youth and talk to kids and let them know that, look, they twerking.
Oh, Lord.
They twerking, they gonna be twerking at 30, wondering what they gonna do with the rest of their life when their child support come up. But baby, if you stay in these books, you're gonna go to Harvard and you're gonna get a sports car faster and you can have all the girls you want. So it was just a different way of giving that message out. And because I do have friends that are also in the business and some of them are athletes and rappers, and I make them go tell these kids their stories and why they're broke now, or the ones that are successful, why they're successful. It all goes back to reading.
Now, did that energy come from your family? Like, in you to be, was mom like, you're gonna read, you're gonna do this? Like, where did that come from in you? Or was it because some kids are just naturally like drawn to sort of reading and imagination and doing that kind of thing?
I was in love with books very early, and that's one of the reasons why I'm author now. My mom used to take me to the library. We couldn't go to the library in my own city. I'm from Pittsburgh, but a little small town called Duquesne. They burnt our library down because they didn't want black people to use the pool.
Really?
Yeah, so my mom would put me on the bus, and she would take me 2 cities over to this big, beautiful white building. And in this big, beautiful white building, she explained to me that if you really want to live forever, you put your name in a book, and you will live, the test of time. And it had big white pillars. So my goal growing up was I was going to have a mansion, because I didn't realize it was a library. It was just a mansion to me with books in it. So I was going to have a mansion with big white pillars, and my name was going to be on a book. I told my mom then I was going to write 15. I'm 5 down, Mommy.
All
and
right,
still.
You're still going?
Do
Do you remember this is such a weird thing, but childhood things, and do you remember the smell of the library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was clean and still, and everything was like marble. It was very cold.
Do you ever still go back there?
I haven't been back to the library for years, but I did send my books back. Like every time my books come out, I make sure I send 7, and I ask them to please put them on the shelves. But
To that specific library? That's amazing.
Yeah,
Very
I send
cool.
them to a lot of libraries, but that was the first library I sent my stuff to, and told them my story. And the lady was very sweet. She took pictures with her cell phone and texted me my books on the shelf. Yeah, so I could send it to my mommy.
That's so great. What's your favorite book?
Ever? I would have to say, what is the name of that book? It's written in patois. It's not even written like in English, and I think it's called like English patois, and I can't think of the name of the author right now. I have to call you back and tell you about
You'll
it.
have to tweet us about it.
I will tweet you about it as soon as I get home, because I know
Exactly.
exactly where it is.
Okay.
But it's a book that was written, and I think it was like the first book that was ever written in patois. We had a Jamaican housekeeper. So yeah, I grew up with those values too.
Okay.
And her story is just phenomenal.
So what about that specific book just moves you? Is it the language? Is it the culture that's in the book?
It's the language and the culture, and it's about a little girl and how important her books were to her. And how there was no book that was ever written. Like everything was written in English, but she spoke broken English, because patois is still English.
Yeah.
Right.
But how she spoke broken English, and there was never anything for her.
And now you have some upcoming projects, one of them named Plum. Tell us a little about it.
Plum was this little young girl named Yonder Brown hit me up on Facebook, and she was like, look, I'm going to try to do a movie, and I'm going to do it right. I'm going through my union paperwork and everything. I can't pay you what you're worth, but can I have you for a day? It's a sci-fi. I've never done a sci-fi before. I was like, what am I playing? I was like, are you getting me naked? She was like, no. I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, you're a scientist, and I don't want to give too much away, but you're a scientist doing some experiments, and you're kind of a badass. And I told her, send me over the script. And I was like, okay, one day, you got me.
Really?
Yeah, she's a little young independent producer with a dream. How could I say no?
No.
Yeah.
You say yeah, and you do something you've never done before. So I'm really excited to see it. She's actually going
What
to
was it
screen
like being on set for that?
She was a little professional.
Really?
Like working for her was so much better than working for people who's done it for 30 years. She was just sweet. She had her little contracts there, and she had her little craft service, and she was like, I'll get right to you. She shot me. She promised me she would keep me for like 4 or 5 hours. And I didn't want to leave after my 4 or 5 hours, because I was like, look.
the best.
Yeah, she came from Arizona. So I was like, get everything you can from me now
That's amazing.
while I'm here.
Nice.
And she did.
That's very inspiring.
I
right
love
there,
it.
girl.
So inspiring. We can't wait to see that.
I can't wait to
I
see it.
know,
I've
you'll
seen
have to
clips of
share.
it, and I'm
Cool.
excited.
Then you got Pick and Roll.
No.
No?
Let me keep it real. No. Don't turn off the camera. Don't change the subject. Pick and roll. Yes, I had pick and roll. But see, working for black people, like I said, I learned, the difference. They bounce my check.
Oh.
And so
Real talk here at BHL Portrait, y'all.
Now, if you would have just been like Lil Deandra Brown and been like, I can't afford you, but I would like to have you, I might have did it. But you done bounced me a check. It took me a month to get my check. Then you bounced it. So now I will not be back on Pick and Roll. But that's okay, because Pick and Roll was supposed to be picked up by Punch TV Monday. I called them over at Punch and was like, yo, I was excited about working with y'all, but my check bounced. Punch was like, oh, wait a minute, that's not us. Okay? That's a production company. Right, that's not for us. So it's not for Punch. They did not bounce my check. Lee Morris did. So we're working something out. I took them a couple shows. They're interested. I pitched them something else. We're supposed to, there might be some contracts in my thing right now. But
anyway.
yeah, Mr. Collins and I, the CEO of Punch TV, and I had actually had a conversation a year ago, which I didn't remember about. But Mr. Collins was great. He wasn't supposed to be in my meeting on Monday. Like I said, I don't take no for an answer, so I'm a little pushy. I had a meeting with the director of marketing, Miss Sharifa Hardy is awesome. She took me upstairs to meet the people from acquisitions, where I pitched and I showed my projects. They were really interested in them, and they said Mr. Collins has the last say so. I was like, call him.
All right.
They did, and he wasn't even in the studio, but he showed up and came to work for me, and we talked and he watched it and he likes it. So Mr. Collins and I will finally be doing something together on Punch TV.
Just keep doing all kinds of things. So you, we basically here we've spoken a few times about how to become a billionaire up in here, and it is basically theorized that you need 7 sources of income. And right now you got books, film projects, TV, and
A shoe line. Yeah.
So let's talk about them shoes for a minute, just because.
Courtney
We all fashion all the time.
I
We
should
love some
have had them on.
shoes.
I don't even have them on.
Girl,
what kind of promotion is this?
You're supposed to wear your shoes all the time.
I know, but you know I'm a girl, so I appreciate other people's stuff too.
All right, so you have to share.
Yes.
You personally designed the shoes. How did this come about? What's going on with
Cherry
the shoe line?
Bomb. It started as a fluke. My makeup artist, his name is Eric Kirker. I had like my heels all lined up under his station, and I kept changing my shoes like every time we do different scenes. Well, when I came back, he's an airbrush artist. He had airbrushed on a pair of my shoes. I was like, okay, don't kill me. I was like, wait a minute, those are kind of cute. And they had like flaming cherries on them. And I was like, those are Cherry Bomb. And so we started laughing. I wore them, and everybody loved them. And women start asking me, where'd you get those shoes from? Those are so cute. And I was like, ain't they? So then I went back to him and I was like, you know what? People keep asking me, will you just do like, you know, some custom designs for people? He said, yeah. A year later, I told you guys I did the play this year. I wore them, and the black lady said, ooh, that was some cute shoes. I did a little cute kick so she could see them again in the lights. And I told him, you know, this is something that we really...
Okay, you can.
I'm excited over here. Moving stuff.
Yeah, about her shoes, she like.
Right, moving my hair and furniture and stuff. But I told him this is something that we need to do. So he designed 600 pair, and we set up a little website, and I started talking to boutiques. I was in Houston at the time. One of the boutiques started carrying my stuff, and we've just been going ever since.
So are we talking pumps, platforms, sandals, sneaks?
Baby,
what you
stilettos.
got?
I like
Stilettos.
If it ain't high, I don't want it.
Thank you.
And it's www.roadrageshoes.com.
Road Rage
Rage.
Shoes.
Yeah.
All right.
Walking with an attitude. That's what it's all about.
right.
Has it inspired you to kind of branch out into anything else in the merchandise world?
Absolutely, but it's a little too early to talk about it. But you'll be seeing something.
We'll have to have
soon.
you come on again today.
All right.
I would love to come back. I also have a hair oil that's
That
out.
was what was next. Because we're like, we
Hey.
see the Diva hair. What you got going on?
Okay, the Diva hair. I ain't even on front for nobody. I just told y'all I got back from Houston. It is hotter than hell out there. You can't keep your hair down. So I bought me a $15 ponytail, which I'm now in love with. I might not
They
ever
are
comb
the
hair again.
bomb.
Right.
Yes.
But I have natural hair. I don't have a perm. I hate to comb it. I don't, no fuss, no muss. Okay, that's me. I'm like, the texture don't even match, so you know I ain't pretending. This is wavy,
Yes.
and this is supposed to be straight.
Okay.
Right. But my hair, 9 out of 10, like, I like the pool. I love to swim. My hairdresser has used something on my hair for 15 years, and everybody always said, oh, it's cute. You smell like cherries. Come to find out, the reason why I got some hair on my head is because cherry's a natural growth agent.
What?
Who knew?
Who knew?
So my hair is really long. It's like down here. And keeping that cherry oil as essential oils. there's nothing in it. Like, you can pronounce everything on the back of the container, and that was really important to me because I ordered something called Carol's Daughter, which I'm really disappointed in. I'm sorry, I said it.
I'm not mad.
But it was
'cause
like,
it's the truth.
yeah, Jada Pinkett is gorgeous.
They're
I
all
love
on
me
the
some Mary
pictures
J.
and the
Blige,
rides. You're like,
what they weaves
oh.
on. But I,
With their weaves on.
what they weaves
She
on,
not
natural hair
lying.
product with the
'Cause
weaves
that's
on.
how they draw you in. Thinking,
Right.
oh, I can do
And I was like, ooh, a black-owned company I want to
Yes.
support. Well, I got this product, and it has 5 natural ingredients in it and 19 chemicals. That's not natural.
No, it's not.
So I decided I'm gonna bottle this stuff, and I've been giving bottles away to people. Like, try this.
Alright.
And through giving the bottles away, I've learned that it helps with psoriasis.
Really?
Because what it is it just conditions you, basically. And all psoriasis is dry skin. So there's a lady who works in the building next to
gonna
me
have
at
to
Dimes
hit you up for
Magazine.
You know, right?
If
I'm
I'd have
like,
known, I'd have brought some bottles. I can't keep them in my car no more. I used to keep them in my car, but it's like 115
too hard.
Yeah,
degrees. Right. I don't want no grease everywhere. And it also can be used as a massage oil. But it has cleared up people's psoriasis. This lady who I run Dimes Magazine too. I'm the executive director of Dimes. And
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Girl, you
real
almost a
estate,
billionaire.
Right there,
real estate.
okay, 7. She might already be a billionaire status and ain't told nobody yet.
Hey,
Okay.
you know.
All right.
I always say that poor is loud, rich screams, and wealth is quiet.
Real
talk.
Yes.
Real talk. All right. All right. Where can we find the cherry oil?
The cherry oil, the website's not up yet, but if you hit me up on, I was going to say Twitter. It is not Twitter. Twitter, and I'm at Cherie Johnson 75. The 75 not there, it's imposter, it ain't me. But it's CHERIE Johnson 75. You pay my PayPal. It's Rockstar Cherry. $15. I'll send you a bottle.
Okay.
And, you know, we hear that you're obsessed with tweeting.
I am.
What do you like to tweet about?
Anything. At 7 o'clock this morning, I woke up, literally dead sleeping, listening to this lady complain about her husband on TV because the TV was on him in the bed. And they just start talking about, oh, I hate people that lie. Because he's like, I tweet about things that happen to me, like, hello, they know I'm here. I didn't give the address, but they know where I am right now. I might need help or something. Shoot.
Right, girl?
I usually never tweet until I leave, like if I go in the grocery store or something, because it's kind of weird when people show up. I figured that out the hard way.
While you're shopping?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you really came? That's weird.
Strange.
Awkward moments.
Okay.
Yeah, but anything and everything and things that I feel are important. I think the best thing about the job that I have is the voice that the world has given me to fight for things that I believe in. So reading is important. Let's read about it. Paying your child support, even though I ain't got no baby daddy, is important. So I tweet about it. You know, men need to be fathers. Women need to stop having babies by
Just
everybody.
get the tweets out there so they become thoughts, put them into people's heads so they become actions.
Exactly. Ooh, I like
I
that.
don't know where that one just
Each
came
one
out.
to teach
just
one,
digging
baby.
it
You
out.
just taught me.
All right, Jesse.
If you could have one word that defines you,
Unique.
there you go.
I didn't want to say freaky or like weird, so I just felt
Unique
like that
was
was.
Unique
an
is
epic
a
word for
beautiful
you.
word.
I like
Beautiful
that
word.
word,
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
go into a few lighter questions. Not that we've been that heavy, but we've been talking. All right.
A little
So,
tea time here.
a little tea
Hey.
here. Okay. So, we all love Prince up in here.
Oh, I do.
We know you do.
Oh, you know about my story?
No, tell us your story.
Please tell us your Prince story.
Are you serious?
Give it to us.
So the most embarrassing day of my life. I was like 16 years old. I ain't belong there anyway. I was in Glam Slam. Prince used to have this club downtown LA. Put on this little skirt my mama would have killed me if she didn't know and I left with. But, you know, I hid it in my backpack. And got my little sister all dressed up. And we went to the club. We in the club. I was trying to act like a big girl, you know what I'm saying? The bouncer told me, look, you can go in there, but you cannot drink because I'm not losing my liquor license over you. We're not getting in trouble. I was like, I promise. I just want to see him. He was like, cool. So I was in there, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, I don't know what happened. He walked in, and I lost my mind. I started screaming in this man's face, like literally, like all in this man's face. The same bouncer who let me in and told me I couldn't drink picked me up, threw me over his shoulder, and kicked me out. When I got outside the door, I was like, wait, just give me another chance. You don't understand. I just got excited. I'm sorry. I promise I won't do it again. Lenny Kravitz was coming in. Now, I feel like I'm in major trouble because I've known Lenny Kravitz. My uncle, the same uncle, was one of the producers of The Jeffersons. Man, he gonna tell his mama, who gonna tell my mama, tell my mama. Right, I just got caught. So Lenny's like, put her down. What are you doing? And I was like, I got kicked out. And he's like, why did you get kicked out? Are you drunk? I was like, no. So what had happened was Prince walked in. I started screaming. He goes, that's who I'm here to meet. Give her another chance. She's just stupid and she's young. And he took me back in. He said, look. He got me to the door, turned me around and said, look, I'm going to introduce you. Say hello and walk away. You have 10 minutes in the club, then you got to go home. And I was like, I promise. Can my sister come back in too? She's like 14. You know? And he's like, yes. So he takes me back in. I meet Prince, and I go, hi. And he says, go. This isn't the end of the story.
Oh, my God.
I did what I was told. 10 minutes in the club. I tried to play it off. I had to leave. I had to go home anyway. I lived far. I had to make it home by like 11:30 because my mom wasn't playing that. Right? So I get home, don't think about it. Probably 3 years ago, I'm at the Cabana with little Marcus Polk, the little boy from Moesha.
Yes.
Me and Marcus is in the club. We dancing. That's my homeboy, right? So we're laughing. I'm telling Marcus, you know, I'm really too old to be out if you out. He's like, I know you good. The dance floor starts partying like the sea. I look up, there's this really big guy coming. I'm like, who is it? Is it Justin Timberlake? Because I know he was up in here last week. I like me some Justin. This is before Jessica Biel. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying. What's going on? Right. I'm single. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he won't be a groupie. Let's go, Jess. It's Prince.
Oh.
But he walks by. I swear it was like slow motion. And everybody got quiet. He looked at me and he said, what's up, Cherie? I grabbed Marcus and says, oh my God, did you see that? He knows who I am. He knows who I am. Oh God, can you believe that? Marcus says, oh my God, can you please calm down? You know, this is so embarrassing. So.
All right, so we love Prince.
So you have a memory in Prince's head.
I couldn't believe he
Or a
said,
mark in
he
his
said,
brain.
oh, what's up, Cherie?
Nice.
Lost it all over again.
As you should.
It's so
Totally
embarrassing.
warranted.
Are you
Totally
kidding me?
warranted.
This time I like totally don't even care. Prince, if you're watching, please say hi to me again one day, dude.
He's on Twitter now. Y'all should be hitting.
Does he tweet?
He tweets a little bit, but he just joined about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, boo. I'm hitting you
You
as
need to
soon
find
as
him on Twitter.
when I get back in my purse, because it's right here.
You already followed.
I'm tweeting, right.
All right.
And writing him. I'm not going to stalk you or nothing.
But we gonna be friends for
But we gonna be friends.
But we gonna be friends. We gonna be friends. All right. So favorite Prince song.
Ooh, we can fucking do it though. Making love to cherries gone. See, I didn't realize what he was saying, but I knew that he said my
your
name.
name.
So Roddick City was the bomb because he said my name. I didn't know what he was talking about now. You know, Cherie ain't going nowhere, Prince, but.
All right. How do you feel about rappers using the N-word in their lyrics in this day and
Nigga?
age? Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They niggas.
And how do
Nigga
you,
means ignorant.
and but
And them motherfuckers is ignorant. So.
and on the flip side of that, how do you feel about we were talking about J. Cole? He made a comment about autism, and everyone flipped out about it. He apologized. Rick Ross talked about drugging women, and
Rick Ross talked about slipping somebody a Molly.
yeah.
I think they blew it completely out of proportion, honestly. I'm not saying that it's good to say, oh, you slip a girl a Molly, but I think that there are people out there that don't have anything to do with their lives that just try to pick apart little things that people say and make a huge deal about it.
So you think rappers should be able to say what they want to say?
You can
It's
say
art.
any damn thing you want, and you can't control what you say. You can control, but you can't control how somebody else is going to take what you say. People are always offended by me, and I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say, regardless of how you feel about it. It is what it is. Maybe the autism thing was a little unsensitive and a slipping a chick a Molly, but these bitches is slipping they self Mollies to go home with Rick Ross.
And dancing on the
You ain't
VMAs.
lying. You ain't lying.
Twerking and stuff. How,
Okay.
what? Where is their limits? And why are we only drawing them on specific things and specific people? It's not
Yeah.
fair.
That is
Just like
fair.
everybody was talking about Frank Ocean. I'm a huge Frank Ocean fan, but, they don't want to support his song. Now they know he might have been singing to a man.
But he didn't even come out and say he's gay.
But who cares?
No, I know, but I'm just saying we making up all this stuff. They making up.
They
all this
making
stuff.
up all
and
this
he ain't
stuff.
never said. He could have been talking about his dad. He could have been talking about God. He could have been talking about
Anybody.
The damn turtle in
We
his
love
backyard.
Luther.
Turtle.
What's his name? Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross.
Who you think he was singing to?
We don't know, but he sure sang good.
Right.
He
It
sure sang good.
didn't matter.
It
People-
didn't matter. It's a great song. It's a great song.
Right. They try
Yeah.
to take something and twist it into something else. Y'all need to leave people alone. Do something with your damn self.
Okay. Now, would you pose for Playboy?
You know, that was a rumor. I did, supposedly, if you ask TMZ. But I ain't got no Ferrari. That little white man ain't offered me no 6 figures. Hugh, you call me and ask me to put my titties out there. You gonna give me 6 figures in a Ferrari? We can talk about it.
6 figures on a Ferrari. Okay. All right.
I don't, you know, what's the big deal? When somebody put out the rumor that I had done Playboy, I was doing a test shoot for Playboy, it was such a lie. I really just was doing something for Ocean Drive magazine in Miami 3 years prior. I got my bikini, was like twisted in my necklace. They took a picture. I was like this. 3 years later, it surfaces on TV.
You were on Playboy.
Right, I was on Playboy.
Would
Not
you-
true.
Love it.
Would you ever do a Family Matters reunion show?
I think we're over that.
Yeah.
People been hitting us on Twitter like so much. Why don't you? First of all, we're just actors. We just show up where they tell us and we say what they tell us. We don't own Family Matters. We don't have the liberty or the licensing to go and do, you know.
We
a Family
here,
Matters.
y'all.
Right. You gonna film us. You gonna put us back on ABC. If that was the case, we'd all have jobs. It don't work like that. But I think we're all over it. Like, Jalil don't want to be Urkel again. I said Maxine died. Occasionally, if you call me Maxine when the residual come in, I might say holla. But any other time, I'm not her no more. I don't really want to be her anymore.
Right.
Not that I didn't like her. Well, I didn't even realize, though, because people like, after the show in my 30s, people say, oh, you played really dumb. I was like, Maxine wasn't dumb. They was like, yeah. My cousin, who is Shar Jackson, K-Fed baby mama,
Yeah.
she was like, boo, you were dumb. I was like, how you gonna call me dumb, Niecy? You was dumb. She was dumb. But I got, right, drink to that, boo. I guess we was both dumb, and I just didn't, I didn't know. You were over that. They got kids and stuff. Everybody got kids
Everybody's got
except for
kids and
me and
stuff.
Sean and Brighton.
Oh yeah, we just
he
had
was just
Brighton in
here
the other day.
a couple
actually.
weeks
I
ago.
love my bee.
Aw,
Just
he's
keep it.
doing great things.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to wrap this all up, remind us all where we can find you, where we can find your shoes, and everything that is Cherie Johnson.
I am always on Twitter. You can always find me at Cherie Johnson 75. You can find my shoes at roadrageshoes.com, and you can find all my books on Amazon. All you gotta do is type in my little name, Cherie Johnson, and it'll pop up.
Pop up. All right, Jesse, and where can your fans find you?
At DJ Jesse J.
Hey.
And you can find me on Twitter at Stewart Starlet and up in here at Black Hollywood Live every Friday and all the time on YouTube, iTunes, and everywhere else. So thank you guys for joining us today. Black Hollywood Live Portraits. Peace.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Sweeten, Gabriel Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.